happy day. I don't know what day of the week it is when you're watching this, but just know that I hope today is a great day for you. Welcome if you are new here, and if you are not, welcome back for another video. Today, I'm going to be talking about giving yourself permission to pivot. I think a lot of us, we get in this mode of we want to change, but then we're like, oh, we've been doing this for so long. It's not right. It's not comfortable. We shouldn't change. And I'm challenging you today to think differently about that. So give yourself permission to change, to grow, and give others the permission to do the same. And now what I'm going to begin this conversation with is mindsets that I tweaked in this journey, and what made me, or what led me to this video, is that there's different beliefs that I've had in the past that I don't have anymore. One of the beliefs that I had for a very long time is that one's a cheater is always a cheater. And some of you watching this may agree, may believe that 1000%. If they've cheated before, they will cheat again. If they've gone to jail before, they will go to jail again. And yes, it is true for many, maybe even the majority, but it's not true for all. And that's the belief I had as tweak, is that just because someone has this certain way of doing at this time of their life doesn't mean that they are not going to change later. Now, I'm not saying that I would stay with someone who cheated necessarily. That's not what I'm saying. I'm saying that if I met somebody down the line, say I meet somebody next week, right? And we're getting to know each other, and I find out 5 years ago, 10 years ago, he cheated, or maybe even 3 years ago, or even a year. I find this out. I could decide based on his behavior now, based on how he interacts with the world, based on his mindset, how he's evolved, like how he interacts with people. Okay, maybe he won't do it again. Because some people, they do things at the level of like consciousness that they had at that moment. And some of us, a lot of us, we're just hurt little kids in adult bodies, right? We had stuff that we didn't work through. And I don't want to say that just because someone cheated on someone else that they're always going to continue cheating. Because maybe that person, they were going through it. I don't know. I'm not trying to make excuses for them. I'm just saying that it can happen. Another thing that I noticed too is like with the whole cancel culture, how someone could say something 10 years ago, 15 years ago, or even 20 years ago, and people will cancel them based on that action. Because people do change. Not all people, but there are people who are on their healing journey that have changed. I've changed. There's things that I believe that I'm telling you now that I believed before, but I don't believe them anymore. I don't believe them. I don't relate. I used to drink a lot, and just like maybe a year ago or a year and a half ago, I would have told you, let's go drink, let's go do this, and went hard, party, and all the things. But now I won't even do that at all. Like, I'll go to the party, but I'm not going to drink, I'll make a mocktail or drink a little sparkling water or some ginger beer. And for those who don't know what ginger beer is not beer. It's more like a ginger ale. Ginger ale, I guess you would say. My point is, if I know that I can change, then I have to, I don't want to say I should, but I have to also be open to the fact that other people can't change. Not saying that they will, but knowing that some will and some won't. Some will and some won't. So just be aware of that, the things that you've done in the past and that you don't do anymore, and realize that some people can change. Now, that does not mean that they're the person for you. I'm just saying, I'm not saying to stay in relationships with people who've cheated on you. That's not what I'm saying. I'm just saying everybody's situation is different, and keep that in mind, notice it, acknowledge it, and don't sit there and think that just because someone did this one thing that is it. Now, I don't want to go on a tangent, but there are some things that I believe what you do in the dark comes to the light. I believe this 1000%. So I believe that if you do some strange things or evil things or mean things, terrible things when you're younger, and it comes out later on, even if you've changed, you still have to suffer consequences for your actions. That's all I'm going to say on that topic. I'm not going to get too deep into it, but that's one thing I have not swayed on. You do something, you still a lot of times need to suffer the consequences. It may not be in a jail. It may be between you and God. It may be health-wise. I don't know, but I feel like you do that, it's going to come back to you, and just expect that. Another belief that I carried with me for a long time is just not fully believing that we do have the power to heal ourselves. And now I do look to God for healing, but I also know that God gave us tools to be able to heal. He gave us doctors, he gave us, acupuncturists, he gave us herbs, he gave us different things that we're able to utilize to be able to heal. But I did not believe full-heartedly that your mindset does help you. Because if you're thinking all these negative thoughts and just viewing everything through a very bad lens, like the world is chaotic and I'm going through it and nothing works out for me, that creates chaos in your body. That creates stress in your body. And now I know that 100%, if you start to think better, better things do start happening to you. I've seen people who have gone through so much turmoil in their life, and yet they still smile. They still see the positive in the negative. And to me, that is just like absolutely amazing. That is absolutely amazing. And that's one thing I challenge you, like, be that individual where you see like, okay, this happens, but I'm going to choose to look at the positives in the negatives. Not saying that you always have to like fake it, like, and say everything's going good. Feel the feelings, but don't sit in them, you know? So that's one thought one thing that I've kind of carried with me. Another thought is I'm not worthy. I used to believe this 10,000%. I'm not worthy of having land and properties. I'm not worthy of being a YouTuber. I'm not pretty enough for this. I talk too fast. I'm this, I'm not that. But now I know that I'm exactly where I'm supposed to be, being the exact person I'm supposed to be. I believe that. And that's what I'm saying, is that you can pivot. You can go and grow up and go to school and say, I want to be a veterinarian. Go to school for that, go to college for it. I'm sure spend a lot of money for it. And then decide when you're 30, 35 that that's not what you want to do. You don't have to continue on. And that's what I'm telling you. Give yourself permission, because life is really short to be doing something that you don't want to do. It's very short. Give yourself permission to pivot. Give yourself permission to change. Give yourself permission to change your mind and allow others to do the same. That's one thing I have to stress, because even me, I've been in the field of finance for a long time. I was in the field of finance for a long time. I'm still licensed. I'm still licensed for it. But it's not my passion or my purpose. It was what I needed at the time to go through and grow through, is what I really meant to say, grow through, and to help people and to change people's lives and to change my own. But I know that's not the end game. I know that's not what God called me to do in this next season of my life. And so give yourself permission, please. It is okay. And maybe it's scary. It is scary. It's scary if you go and you do something very well for a long time and then you have to change. It's scary to go to school, like I said, and to have invested a lot of money into yourself and then say, this is not what I want to do. But the truth is, money can be replaced. Time cannot. Time cannot be replaced. Like, once it's gone, it's gone. And I know I would rather lose $100,000 or $200,000 or $300,000, because I don't know how much schooling costs to be a doctor, than lose 5, 10, 20 years off my life and sit in my bed with regrets. So I'm telling you, begging you, pleading with you, loving with you, encouraging you, pivot if it's necessary. Pray, do what you have to do, go in your prayer closet, journal, meditate, ask for guidance. What is it that I need to do? Do I need to pivot out of this? Say, God, I'm scared. Because if you're scared, it's cool. I'm scared, but you see me doing this anyways. You see me showing up anyway. And if you guys have any like comments or thoughts on this, leave it in the comments as always. Like I always say that, but leave them in the comments, or you can shoot me a DM on Instagram. I am back on Instagram. But that's really the video. Just pivot if it's necessary. And now if you're not called to pivot, if you're called to stay in this where you are, even though you're not comfortable, or even though you don't want to be there, then don't move. If God didn't tell you to move, don't move. I'm not telling you to move if God didn't tell you to move. I'm just saying move if he does tell you to pivot. It's okay to pivot. It's okay. Allow yourself, give yourself permission. So that is it. That is all. I hope you have an amazing day, and I will chat with you in the next video with all my love.